Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One more again to some of you and peace out to the rest of you. The blackest hearted man on social media, signing black in and shining again, asking you to hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Regarding more and more black women dating interracially, I'm gonna talk mostly within the states. I understand that this is happening. I know it's on the increase because I saw it myself. I was only in the States for about 3 weeks last summer, and I still saw it. Not a whole lot, but I saw it more than I'd seen it before. Now, when I went to the Midwest, I saw it the absolute most in the mall. But that being said, I also want to point out something else too. When I saw black women with white guys, I don't know the stories of these white guys. I don't know if these white guys were, I don't know if these white guys were very successful, if they were broke. I couldn't really look and tell. So when sisters say we're only taking the best of the white men, I can't really say that that's true because Serena Williams and Meghan Markle, they're two stories. We don't really know much more than that. No, it's not really true though. I myself know black women that have married and done things for white guys they would not have thought of doing for black men, and they didn't necessarily make the same request. I mentioned how one has a sandwich shop in my hometown. My mother knows her. The white guy works for her. She owns it, he manages. He pretends like he's the owner. I know the secret because she knows my mother. Do you understand? You can't expect this from... Now granted, I've never seen this woman either. It may be that she's one of them sisters nobody wants, no brothers want. But what I'm going to say is that brothers generally, contrary to what a lot of sisters say, brothers ain't taking the trash necessarily from other races. Brothers might trick with trash, but then that's somebody who's willing to trick himself. When it comes down to serious dating and or marriage, brothers usually ain't looking for the trash. However, you're going to say, why am I even addressing you? Brothers, they're going to say that you are marrying or seriously dating the trash anyway, all the time. This is something that's always going to be argued for. This is something that's always going to be said and told to you. Now, you know doggone well that some of you're in the West and you're getting them big old plus size white women because that's where you live in some form of steel mill out in the Midwest, and that's all that's available. And the only other option is the same kind of woman, but she black and got the attitude. So some of you, that's true about you. But understand, you're not the ones that are on YouTube all the time talking about this. The ones that are on YouTube talking about this are not limited to these little small, poor towns where the only option they're going to get is the big old plus-size trailer park white woman or the big old plus-size project chick. It's not necessarily the case for a lot of these guys. So, there are guys that are going abroad. And let's take Kid Agakure Jones. I forgot what his new YouTube handle name is. He didn't marry the trash. Not at all. Not in the least bit. When I went and I got married, I married a lady from the tribe that used to fire shots at British soldiers and kill them, and they did not go to prison for it. They caught bullets before they caught cases. I'm just one example. In the States, it doesn't matter that I've got more than one degree. It doesn't matter how educated I am. It doesn't matter how much I've accomplished. It doesn't matter, number one, doesn't matter in the job market. White folk ain't gonna pay me that much. When I was getting paid that much, it didn't make a goddamn bit of difference. I'm supposed to settle for less than what I brought. In any situation, in any scenario. It was always like that. And so now, you want me... Again, make that mistake. I shouldn't be addressing them. Sorry, brothers. Now, what these sisters want is for us to sit up and say that, well, we've been taking their trash, but they've been taking only the best. Wait a minute. Number one, they haven't been taking only the best guys. That's not true. Now, they may take from the middle, But that's, I mean, hell, that's nicer than what they would do for brothers. Because, when you're a black man, you got to be on the top of everybody else, and everyone else has to be afraid of you. So they're still willing to accept from them less than what they'll take from you, less than what they'll demand from you. Also, more than that, they'll sit up here and they'll say that we're taking their trash when, in fact, we come in different situations, and therefore we're taking women at different levels. And that's the other thing they're not going to talk about. No, we are a mixed bag in general. We are far less homogenous than our women are. Far less. When it comes to how we are judged by the women, it's the same. That's why all black women want the same few black men. That's why 52% of black men are not married. Adult black men are not married and don't have any kids. And I forgot how much higher, but it's a lot higher, the numbers and percentages of black women that do have kids and have them with multiple baby daddies. Which I guess has to be the case if 52% of us as adults do not marry and do not have kids. Between 18 and 29, the percentage and numbers are even higher. So don't let them tell you this, bloods. When they come and say that we've been taking the trash, but they're only taking the best. No, they're taking the middle. Sometimes they're taking the worst, but generally speaking, they're taking at least the middle. They're not necessarily getting the best. One of the reasons we know is because when somebody that is considered the best among his people is willing to marry a sister, domestically or abroad, even where I live, people are going to ask him why. And that's even when they don't hate us. That's even if they have some of our blood in them. Now, domestically, in the United States, many of you do have... Now I'm talking to you sisters. Many of you do have more options than you would have abroad. I want you to understand something. When you leave, it is not the same thing. Maybe in Western Europe, I don't know what to tell you. I've never been there. I don't want to go. I do think that white women are dangerous, and I'm not trying to surround myself with white people. So no, I don't go. I don't even have to visit. But what I can tell you is that when you go abroad into other parts of the world, you do not have the options that the men do. You don't have the options that non-black women do. And I do chalk that up to white supremacy. That is not fair. Because abroad, like where I am right now, there's nothing wrong with sisters. The only reason these people will not marry them in many cases is because of their skin color and their noses and their lips and their hair texture. That really is true here. That's not necessarily true in the United States when it's brothers that don't marry sisters or don't date them. That's something that's got to be learned. But over here where I am, that's the truth. When some of them do want to, their parents step in, their family step in, we will disown you if you do it, even though we don't hate her. They don't want to mix their blood. They don't want to go back to looking like their ancestors used to look when they first settled, or who they think their ancestors were. So I just wanted you to understand that. That's what you're dealing with. Hopefully one day what I've said will not be true anymore. In the meantime, I hope it helps. Black Horse sign, a blackout. Assalamu alaikum. Black male power, specifically because she don't like it.